Lionel Messi is worth over $500 million, so it's no surprise that he splurges on million-dollar watches, cars, and even his own foot. Here are 10 Lionel Messi items that are worth more than your life. Now this might make you feel bad, but I'll start with the cheapest one, his phone. I know what you're thinking, how expensive can a phone be? Well, if you're Lionel Messi, the answer is very expensive. Now there are millions of people around the world who use iPhones, but there's none out there that compete with the type that Messi uses. So what do you think about a customized iPhone that's covered in pure gold? Hold on, because it doesn't stop there. Messi's iPhone also has his name and jersey number embedded on the back. For regular folks, $1,000 is a fair price for an iPhone, but Messi's not a regular person, which is why his customized version costs a whopping $21,000. Remember earlier on when I said I'll start off with the cheapest? Well, let's move on to something that costs a whole lot more, and that's his jewelry. So, we all know Messi's a humble guy who prefers to stay low-key, but not when it comes to his bling. Apparently, the Inter Miami star is a fiend for all that glitters, and he doesn't mind blowing large wads of cash on them. He's got $45,000 Rolexes, $120,000 Hublots, and $150,000 Pateks. Speaking of his $150,000 Patek, it's covered in jaw-dropping 142 carat diamonds and sapphires. And as if that's not enough to make a broke person cry, Messi requested that the watch be sprinkled with some rubies too. It doesn't end there though, as he also owns a $250,000 customized watch that's laced with rose gold and baguette diamonds. Now here's an interesting fact about Messi's $250,000 watch. It's one of the very few timepieces in the world that can simultaneously tell the time, day, and the city you're in. But, I wish that was the best of it, but it's not, because the watches I've mentioned so far come nowhere close to the most expensive in his collection, the Messi Ballon d'Or watch. Yeah, after Messi won his historic 7th Ballon d'Or, the custom-made $2.8 million watch was crafted in his honour. He was the only man in the world to own such a timepiece, but it became so popular that the jeweller had to make 8 replicas for those who wanted to feel at least on the same level as the soccer god. It's crystal clear Messi loves to see wrist glitter, but that's not the only part of his body that has literally been dipped in gold. Moving on, and the next Messi item that's worth more than your life is his gold foot. Of course, Messi's real foot is made of flesh and bone, but after scoring a remarkable 91 goals in the 2012 season for Barcelona, a jeweller in Tokyo named Ginza Tanaka decided that his left foot had to be worshipped, hence his decision to make an exact gold replica of the Argentine's scoring tool. This piece of work was so important that the jeweller had to fly to Spain to have Messi design it with him. Of course, Messi obliged. After all, how many players in the world can boast of having a golden foot? Anyway, to get the right dynamics, Messi had to dip his left foot in a bowl where molten was poured, just so there'd be no mistakes. The end result? An exact replica of Messi's left foot with the vein sticking out and all. Messi himself signed on the platform where the golden foot was placed to certify its authenticity. The good news is, this work of art was done not only in honour of Messi's legendary goal-scoring records, but also as part of a relief programme for the 2011 tsunami victims in Japan. It was auctioned for around $5 million, and a large part of the proceeds were used to aid those affected by the natural disaster. So as you can see, Messi isn't just all about himself, as his foundation has a reputation for giving to those in need. However, one thing Messi isn't giving out anytime soon is his $1 million car collection. See, Messi has a thing for fast and expensive cars, and while his early days as a professional saw him drive the regular Range Rovers and Cadillac Escalades, the latter years of his career saw him literally switch up gears to owning some of the most expensive cars in the world. Now this might come as a surprise to you, but his major rival Cristiano Ronaldo actually tried to take one of Messi's cars away from him, but we'll go into that later. So, how would you like your garage to be blessed with $150,000 Audis and $250,000 Maseratis? I'm sure you would, as these are cars most people can only dream of. But for Messi, it's a reality he wakes up to every morning. And these aren't even his most expensive cars. He's got a $300,000 Ferrari and a beautiful $600,000 Mercedes-Benz SLS. That's over $1 million on cars alone, and that's not even adding his 2.8 million Bugatti, which flies at a breathtaking 230 miles per hour. In fact, this supercar is so fast that it's actually illegal to drive in many cities in Europe. Remember when I mentioned earlier that Ronaldo wanted to snatch one of Messi's cars away from him? Well, it was a 1957 Ferrari Spider, which Messi heard was going up for auction in Paris. He loved it, wanted it, and was heading over to purchase it. Ronaldo heard of it too and placed a bid. Unfortunately for CR7, the auctioneers already knew Messi was coming for it and decided to reserve it for the Argentine soccer legend. Messi ended up paying $35 million for it, which is far more than what his other cars are worth combined. Now, you can't park such a car in a regular home, can you? Well, the dude's got a $5 million condo and a $10 million mansion, and even a $44 million castle fit for a king. Have you seen his condo in Miami? Trust me when I say it's one of a kind. The super apartment actually has a car elevator which lifts his luxury vehicles straight up to his living room. Now that's classy. Speaking of class, Messi's next super purchase is his $7 million home in Castelldefels. The mansion offers a great view of both the Catalan hills and the Mediterranean Sea. Now, how many homes can boast of the same? It also has its own private theatre, a gym, Olympic-sized swimming pool, and a spa. Now, with such a beautiful place to call home, you'd expect Messi to want some privacy, right? Well, he did, and this became evident when he literally got rid of some of his neighbours. This brings us to our next set of expensive items purchased by Messi, his neighbour's house. While living in Castelldefels, it was reported that Messi had a problem with his noisy neighbours and offered to buy their homes for an amount they just couldn't refuse. The exact value of the homes have remained undisclosed, but since Castelldefels is one of the most highbrow areas in Spain, then we expect him to have spent tens of millions of dollars kicking his neighbours out. The funny thing is, a player of Messi's calibre is hardly ever home, and as you would expect, he certainly travels in style. This brings us to his $15 million private jet. This luxury bird, equipped with 2 bathrooms, a large kitchen, and as many as 16 seats that can be collapsed into 8 comfy beds. Oh yeah, the tail of the jet carries Messi's jersey number. His name, as well as the names of the members of his family, are also written on the steps. Players like Neymar and Cristiano Ronaldo have private jets, and it would be a shocker if Messi didn't snatch up one of those babies for himself. Now, flying isn't the only means of travelling for the World Cup winner. Far from it, as he also loves sailing the waters too. Certainly, all the work and no fun makes Messi a dull player, which is why he doesn't joke with his holidays. And what better way to get a load off than to enjoy the waters of some of the most beautiful islands in the world? Messi's yacht has a kitchen, living room, bedrooms, and a bar stashed with exotic drinks. It also has kayaks and is equipped with world-class security features, just in case anyone has any smart ideas in the water. So, we're almost at the end of the video, but I can't leave without mentioning another set of items Messi owns that are worth big bucks. His chain of hotels. Messi has been a hotelier since 2017, thanks to the launch of his MIM Hotels empire. His hotel chain boasts as many as 5 hotels, which are all managed by none other than the Majestic Hotel Group. All the same, each of Messi's hotels are valued between $35 million and $43 million, which totals around $200 million. Add that to his $200 million Messi theme park, and that's about $400 million worth of hospitality from one man. But what do you make of Messi's multi-million-dollar purchases? Don't hesitate to share in the comments section below. And while you're at it, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.